But how do they do that? That's the question that pops into the minds of most moviegoers when the lights go down and the stories, landscapes, and characters unfold and come to life on the screen. The people responsible for bowling you over are a diverse team of artists which, armed with the best technology, put all their talent at the service of the animation. Do you want to know some of the details of how they do it? You've come to the right place. Enjoy the journey. The adventure of making an animated film come to life begins with the script, the story that we want to tell. With the script in hand, we organize the work in 3 phases: pre-production, production, and post-production. We start by studying all the scenes frame by frame and making a list of what we need. The most important thing in this phase is to imagine everything that will happen so that nothing unforeseen catches us by surprise later on. After that, the art department gets to work and defines the aesthetics of the whole film. The color department performs the first light treatments and analyzes the light's behavior. With all this initial material, we move on to the characters, scenes, and 3D objects. Later, we give them their final finish with touches of luminosity, transparency, and texture to achieve the maximum realism possible. What now? Now we have to put the characters and objects that we want to move through a process called rigging, which means, to put it simply, that we give them articulated skeletons so that they are really able to act. With the script ready to go, we turn the words into actions and images by drawing a book of vignettes, a sort of comic book of how we want to tell the story. That is, into what's called a storyboard. And once the storyboard has been digitalized, we go a step further and we animate the characters' different actions, creating what is known as the Leica, or story reel. After that, we move on to the animatics and we begin to see the 3D elements in action. Combined with the music and the dialogue, we can start to glimpse what the final product will look like. Everything is starting to come to life. So much so that we can now introduce the stereoscopic cameras that will make it possible to see the film in 3D movie theaters. And finally, the time has come for something that you're all familiar with. We enter the recording studio to record the voices and film the images of the actors, some of whom are very famous, who give our characters their expressions, their reactions, and their words. Having come all this way, we can now begin the actual production of the film. We put together all the shots that make up the scenes, and we deliver them to the animation department. Here, we begin to work our magic. Patiently, with attention to detail, a lot of talent, and a tremendous gift for interpretation, the animation department breathes life into the characters. To endow them with even greater realism, the animators also take the utmost care with details like their hair and clothes. In this way, the characters begin to be more real and less imaginary. We add light and shadows to them, and then we process them in what's called rendering. But be patient, because this computer process is very complex and very slow. On average, it takes 8 hours to render each frame. But how do we make everything look so real? Well, the team of special effects artists is in charge of that. They design and simulate all kinds of details that will make the images look even more real. When we reach this point, with finished shots with all the color and details, we're now ready to give the film its final form. We compose the shots that come in layers, and we give them their final appearance, so that we can then cut them and put them in order in the editing room, and so that the story unfolds at just the right pace. When that's done, we now have the final version of the film, so that the recording studio can add the music and sound effects. And now, that's right, our latest production is ready to captivate the audience, so that you have a wonderful time, so you have fun, and so you come out of the cinema convinced that something inside you has changed. After so many hours of work, we can't imagine a better reward. That's what makes all the effort worth it.